is creating a smart response assessment. My name is Cindy Lim. When you are teaching or towards the end of the class, if you want to gauge how much your students have learned, or if you just want to have an exit quiz or just a pop quiz that students can join in, you can set up a smart response assessment on Smartboard itself. And students can also join in using the hellosmart.com webpage, where they can join into your classroom using the class code that you have given them. So when it comes to a smart response assessment, it is quite similar to what you have in your activities, but normally they will have a few types that you can choose. We have multiple choice, true or false, multiple answer, or you can even have opinions to see whether or not your students have opinions of their own, or things that are ungraded because you want to see how much they have gained throughout the lesson. So what you can do to start creating this is to just right-click and start a blank page. And you can see this logo over here, the assessment logo, that you can also add in if it is not in your toolbar. You can click on this and the assessments window will pop up. If you have already added content to your smart notebook before this, maybe from the beginning, if say you want to create a test, a pre-test at the beginning of the class, and you want to run the same test after that, you can also add your content from here. You can load your contents that you have already, or you can even make a new one. So if you want to make a new one, you can select the type of the questions. You can choose a multiple choice question, and you can even make the question an image where you can just open, you click on this browse for one, or can drag an image from another window to upload images from your computer. Or you can even enter answers, enter images as your answers as well. So you can just type everything up and then click next once you are done with this. If you choose not to choose this type of question, you can even delete it, or you can choose a different form of your question type. So one example, after you have completed all of these questions, for example, let me just have a test question. Can I just go to the back? Yes. Okay, and I'll give you a test A, test B, for example. Once you have more than one choice, the next button will be activated and you can click on next. If you want to add in further questions, you can click on add question, and again you can choose a different type of question, true or false. And then it works the same way as well when you want to add a different type of question, multiple answer for example. These will enable you to give questions that have different types of answers, and so on until you have added all the questions that you need, short answers. Okay, let me show you an example of how it looks like after you're done. This is a complete one that can be run through your smart notebook, while your students can open up hellosmart.com and they can see, and then they can see the code over here. If you want to play, if you want to join in and try the quiz, you can do so as well. But when you are ready to start, when you see the students over here joining into the class, you can start the lesson, or you can start the assessment, and then students will then be able to answer your questions. Right now there are no students except for myself, but once your students have finished, you will be able to see their responses. For example, this is what students will see. For example, for a multiple choice question, students will see something like this, and it's also enabled on their mobiles so that they can also do it on their mobile phones. So this is an example of a multiple choice question. This is an example of a true-false question. You can see that I've also added pictures here, which will appear for the students to see whether as the question on its own or as an accessory to the question. And then this is a multiple answer question where you are expected to answer more than one of these choices. And then this is an opinion question which can be this opinion question can be, students can choose whichever answer they want, but it won't be counted as their true or false. It won't be counted towards their grade because it's their opinion. This can also be an example of a short answer question. And once you are done filling in everything, from a student's point of view, you will be able to check all your answers. You can go back and try them again. You can just click on this X right here and keep going back to check all your previous answers until you are ready to submit. So once you're done, you submit all the answers. From the teacher's point of view, what you can see would be, from the teacher's point of view, what you will see is the student's progress. You can see from your own smart notebook right here, how many percent have the students finished. So whenever the student sees something like this, they are ready to submit, they've finished everything. You as a teacher will see that all the questions have been answered. You might want to even go around the classroom to ask them, say, what problems they might have, or whether or not they need help, if you want to give them extra help on that. So after that, you can even go through the answers with the students if you have the time, or if you want to go through the answers with them to discuss what they have learned and what needs improvement. You can look through all the answers and you can see how many of them have answered correctly, how many of them have answered wrongly, and discuss the content further with them. So there's also an example of how the students have answered for each of the question type. And after that, you can even aggregate the results. This is only an example of one student, but if you have more than one student, you'll be able to see a list of student names and how they have answered the questions, and you can see their progress on this Excel file. Because after you're finished, you can actually see, you can actually export your results with the button over here, and an Excel file will be then generated. So you will be able to see the Excel file to give you an example of a list of formative assessment results for them. Okay. Then after that, once you are done, you can choose whether or not to maintain their results, or you can reset the entire activity to be done in a different class or in with a different batch of students. And then after this, you can also, of course, save your Excel file by yourself to see what particular level this class of students are at, or you can set the activity to just do it with another set of students. Do you have any questions?